Imagine standing in complete silence, knowing your survival depends entirely on a game where you cannot see your own moves. Right now, 10 human lives are resting on a razor edge, and the mathematical probability of survival is practically zero. Most people believe that under extreme, life or threatening pressure, human cooperation breaks down into pure panic. But today, a terrifying ultimatum is about to prove that theory completely wrong. 10 individuals are trapped in a sterile, dimly lit chamber, facing an intelligence far superior to their own. These captors do not value human emotion, history, or art. They value only one thing: strict, flawless logic. To them, humans are nothing more than a potential meal, unless they can prove they possess a high level of cognitive harmony. The rules of the test are brutal in their simplicity. The captives will be arranged in a single-file line, facing forward, ordered by height. The tallest person stands at the back, looking down the line at the other 9. The shortest person stands at the very front, staring at a blank wall. No one can look behind them. No one can move out of line. On each head, a hat will be placed, either black or white, assigned completely at random. There is no hint given about the total number of each color. When the countdown ends, each person must state the color of their own hat, starting from the back of the line and moving forward. A single spoken word outside of black or white, a slight shift in tone, or a prolonged pause means instant elimination for everyone. To survive, at least 9 out of the 10 captives must guess correctly. They are given exactly 5 minutes to strategize before the line is formed. On the surface, it feels like an impossible execution sentence. If every person has a 50-50 chance of guessing their own color, the odds of 9 people getting it right by pure luck are astronomical. It is a psychological pressure cooker. Panic whispers that it is every man for himself. But true logic offers a different path. Survival does not require telepathy. It requires a system. The strategy hinges entirely on the first person, the tallest captive at the very back of the line. This individual is in a unique, highly vulnerable position. They can see every single hat in front of them, but they have absolutely no information about their own. They are the sacrificial lamb of the group. But within that sacrifice lies the key to saving everyone else. The first person cannot explicitly say what they see, but they can use their single permitted guess to send a coded message. The secret is parity, the concept of odd and even numbers. Before the line forms, the group agrees on a simple, elegant rule. The first speaker will look at the 9 hats in front of him and count the number of black hats. If he sees an odd number of black hats, he will say the word black. If he sees an even number of black hats, he will say white. He is not guessing his own hat color. He is establishing a mathematical baseline for the entire group. The line forms. The hats are placed. The tallest captive looks down the line. In front of him, the distribution is chaotic, but he calmly counts exactly 3 black hats. 3 is an odd number. He takes a breath and says, black. The system has begun. His own guess is wrong, and he is eliminated from the tally, but his voice carries a lifeline to the remaining 9. The second prisoner in line now holds the key. She knows, based on the first word spoken, that there must be an odd number of black hats in front of the first person. She looks forward and counts the black hats in her own line of sight. She sees an odd number of black hats too. This realization hits with absolute clarity. If the total number of black hats was odd, and she still sees an odd number in front of her, it means her own hat cannot be black. It must be white. She confidently announces, white. She is safe. The third prisoner is up next. He has been tracking the math. He looks ahead and notices the number of black hats has shifted. He sees an even number. Since the second prisoner wore a white hat, the total pool of black hats should still be odd. If he only sees an even number ahead of him, it means he must be wearing one of those black hats. He says, black. Another correct guess. The chain reaction continues down the line, shifting beautifully like a perfectly tuned machine. Each person listens to the answers behind them, adjusts their mental calculation of the remaining black hats, and compares it to what they see in front of them. The fourth prisoner hears the third person say black. She knows one black hat has been accounted for. She looks forward, counts the remaining black hats, and deduces her own color instantly. The fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth prisoners all follow the exact same mathematical rhythm. fear is replaced by absolute, cold calculations. Finally, it comes down to the very last person at the front of the line. The shortest captive, who has spent the entire time staring at nothing but a blank wall. He has not seen a single hat color today. Yet, by listening to the shifting balance of odd and even numbers whispered behind him, the answer is undeniable. He knows the exact color on his head with absolute certainty. He speaks the word, and the silence of the room fractures. The captives are freed. The captors are left hungry, forced to seek out less logical minds. We often view logic as a cold, isolating trait, something that distances us from our humanity. But in the darkest moments, logic is not the absence of human connection. It is the ultimate form of it. This test was never truly about black or white hats or outsmarting an alien intelligence. It was a test of trust. It proved that when individuals stop acting as isolated islands and begin operating as a single, cohesive mind, the impossible becomes entirely predictable. Sacrifice, when structured with purpose, creates a path to salvation for everyone else. The true power of human intelligence does not lie in our ability to survive alone, but in our willingness to speak a truth that saves the person standing right in front of us.